Main dude here is Kamado Tanjiro. Out in a crazy snowstorm, carrying his sis Nezuko, hoping to save her before it's too late. Right now, Tanjiro's heartbroken, cause he just saw his whole family's tragedy. So, what actually went down with Tanjiro and his fam? Let's rewind a few days. Tanjiro was helping his mom with the family charcoal business. Yeah, they were dirt poor, but he was chill with that peaceful life. As the big bro, he swore to work hard, so mom and the kids could live warm and happy. Before heading out, he met Nezuko and the youngest sibling. With dad gone, they saw Tanjiro as the rock of the family. After saying bye, he hauled a basket of charcoal to town. Everyone there liked him cause he was always helping out. Didn't take long before he sold all his charcoal. He headed home when it was already late. An old guy he knew let him crash at his place cause going up the mountain at night's dangerous. Tanjiro really wanted to head home though, but the man said, if you go now, you might run into demons on the way. When Tanjiro asked what demons were, the guy explained, they're creatures that wait for night to attack and eat humans. So humans made demon slayer squads to wipe them out. Tanjiro got uneasy cause his grandma once told him the same thing. So the next morning, he headed home as soon as the sun came up. With his super sharp nose, he caught the scent of blood. And when he reached home, his heart shattered. Mom and the kids were slaughtered by demons. Only Nezuko was still warm, so he carried her down the mountain to find a doctor. Even in the blizzard, Tanjiro ran as fast as he could to save her. But right then, Nezuko suddenly turned into a demon, thrashing and making him slip down the slope. Lucky it was all snow, so he survived. He rushed to her, trying to keep going to the doctor. But Nezuko lost control and went straight for him. Tanjiro remembered what old man Saburo said, and wondered if Nezuko had been a demon since birth. But he quickly tossed that thought. She'd shielded their youngest with her own body. And earlier, he'd smelled another demon nearby. As a demon, Nezuko's body changed and her strength went through the roof. Feeling he was losing, Tanjiro yelled her name to snap her out of it. Thankfully, she came to and teared up, realizing it was her brother. Just then, a demon slayer named Jutomiyoko appeared in the snowstorm, and charged in to kill Nezuko. Seeing she'd fully turned demon, Tanjiro shouted she was his sister, but Ju didn't care. He lunged in and snatched Nezuko from Tanjiro's arms. Ju said she had to die before she hurt someone. Terrified, Tanjiro begged Ju not to hurt his sister, cause she just gotten a bit of her human side back. But Tanjiro's begging didn't make Ju care at all. When Ju moved to finish Nezuko, Tanjiro grabbed a rock and hurled it at him. Then he rushed in with an axe, ready to risk it all to free his sis. But Ju floored him with one hit using just his sword hilt. Still, before that, Tanjiro had tossed his axe into the air. When he fell, it came down toward Ju, nearly ending him. Nezuko seized the chance, attacked Ju, then ran to shield her brother. Ju was shook. Demons always eat humans, even family. But maybe Nezuko's built different. So he knocked her out instead of killing her. When Tanjiro woke up, Ju had returned Nezuko with a bamboo gag on her mouth. He warned don't let her touch sunlight. Then told him to find an old man named Sakonji to train as a swordsman. The siblings then buried their loved ones. Even in deep grief, Tanjiro vowed to become a swordsman and turn Nezuko human again. He asked nearby villagers for some bamboo and straw. They refused to take his money, but he still paid and thanked them. Then he went back to Nezuko. Knowing she feared sunlight, he wove a carrying basket, planning to put her inside so he could carry her easily. At first she just climbed in, legs sticking out. But once she tucked in, it fit perfectly. The two then set off to find Master Sakonji per Ju's words. By nightfall, they planned to rest at a shrine in the forest. Just then, Tanjiro smelled a nasty scent from inside. Inside, they saw a demon butchering the villagers. The sight made Nezuko tear up, remembering her family. The demon lunged at Tanjiro, but he countered with his axe. Its wound healed instantly, and it went in to pin Tanjiro. Nezuko dashed in and kicked its head off like a soccer ball, leaving Tanjiro stunned. She even followed up, sending its body flying too. But the body still stood and attacked Nezuko, while the head grew arms and jumped at Tanjiro to eat him. Tanjiro couldn't believe how freaky this demon looked. He rammed its head, dazing it, then hurled his axe into a tree, trapping the head there. Turning to Nezuko, he saw her getting slammed by the demon's body. So he grabbed it, making them both fall off a cliff. But Nezuko caught his shirt in time, keeping him safe. Then Tanjiro went back to the demon's head to finish it. But holding the knife, he froze. It was his first time doing this. Right then, Master Sakonji appeared, saying knives can't kill it. When Tanjiro asked how, the old man didn't answer. So, he picked up a rock, but still couldn't strike. Sakonji said a kind soul like him could never be a demon slayer. After thinking all night, the sun came up and roasted the demon to ash. That's when he finally got why his sis was so scared of sunlight. Meanwhile, Master Sakonji buried the demon's victims. He told Tanjiro he got a letter from Ju asking him to train Tanjiro as a demon slayer. But first, he wanted to see if Tanjiro even had what it takes. Sakonji told him to bring his sister and run back to his place. Even dead tired from no sleep, thinking of Nezuko's smile kept him going. After running all day, they finally reached Sakonji's home. Nezuko got to rest, but Tanjiro had to start his test. Sakonji took him into the forest, telling him to get back before sunrise. At first, Tanjiro was super confident his sharp nose could guide him no problem. But the forest was full of traps, making things way harder. And the air was so thin it made him gasp for breath. Still, he didn't quit. Within a month, he mastered his breathing. From then, he could sniff out and dodge traps easily. By dawn, he was back at Sakonji's place. After that test, Sakonji officially took him as a student. Tanjiro wrote a training diary for Nezuko to read. His next goal: join the Demon Slayer Corps. That's an ancient group hunting demons to protect humans. But first, he'd have to pass their brutal exam. Demons can heal and are crazy strong, while slayers are just humans. Training is a must. Sakonji was once an instructor in the Corps. Now he'd train Tanjiro to crush that final test. After days of training, Tanjiro's stamina and nose leveled up. Sakonji swapped his axe for a katana. It's the main weapon used to slay demons. But katanas snap easy if you don't know how to use them. So you gotta control your force and strike angle. Over time, Tanjiro got the hang of it. Next, drill attack his master with the sword. But Sakonji just used bare hands to slam him down. The next day, breathing and stance training. It boosts recovery after injuries and keeps your mind steady in demon fights. Then he taught Tanjiro 10 water breathing forms. To master them, Tanjiro had to train underwater for days. Soon, 6 months passed in training. But Nezuko still hadn't woken up once. The doctor said she wasn't sick or in danger. That eased Tanjiro's mind. He trained for another 6 months, finishing every drill. Sakonji said there was nothing left to teach, time to test him. He led Tanjiro to a giant boulder in the forest. If he could slice it in two, he could enter the final exam. Then the master just left him there. Tanjiro tried cutting it, but it didn't budge. From that day, he trained non-stop, but after half a year, Still nothing. His hope slowly started to fade. That's when a masked fox guy showed up. And he instantly yeeted Tanjiro away, lecturing him that a real man can't be that weak. The fox masked dude then baited Tanjiro to attack him to test his skills. He only used a wooden sword to block Tanjiro's strikes. While they were going all out, the fox mask told Tanjiro he could slice that boulder in half easy. He then scolded Tanjiro for wasting all the training Sakonji gave him for over a year. After a while, Tanjiro had to admit defeat, the power gap was just too big. He left Tanjiro with a girl and walked off. When Tanjiro woke up, she said she's Makamo, and the fox mask guy is Sabito. Both were orphans raised by Master Sakonji. The next day, Makamo taught Tanjiro to cut out wasted moves and use breathing to boost his power in battle. But even then, Tanjiro couldn't beat Sabito, so he kept grinding hard. Half a year later, he challenged Sabito again. This time they used real swords, and with one lightning-fast strike, Tanjiro cracked Sabito's mask. Seeing Tanjiro's growth, Sabito smiled in pure joy. Then both of them vanished, leaving Tanjiro with the words, "Bring home the win." That's when Tanjiro realized his strike had actually split the boulder in two. Thanks to training, he could now spot an enemy's weak point like a glowing thread, just follow it and GG. Master Sakonji arrived, saying he didn't want Tanjiro in the final selection at first. But seeing his strength now, he felt reassured and wished him victory. He even cooked a huge feast before the exam, telling Tanjiro to eat up for battle energy. Sakonji explained that demons are like humans, the more they eat, the stronger they get. When that happens, they change form and some can use special arts. So he gave Tanjiro a mask said to ward off evil. Next morning, Tanjiro got up early, packed his gear, and went to say bye to Nezuko, promising to return soon. Before leaving, he asked Sakonji to thank Sabito and Makamo, shocking the master, since they'd been gone for years. At the exam site, Tanjiro was awed by fields of glowing wisteria flowers. The other contestants were many and all looked dangerous as heck. A pair of twins then announced the rules. This was a wisteria forest holding tons of captured demons. They feared the flowers, but here the blooms had stopped. The task: survive in this forest for the next 7 days. Do that, and you're officially Demon Slayer course. Knowing demons can't act in daylight, Tanjiro ran east, where the sun rises first. But mid-run, he stopped. He smelled demons nearby. One jumped from above to attack, but Tanjiro dodged in time. Another came from behind, and he blocked with his sword. Both wanted Tanjiro, so they started arguing mid-hunt. They decided whoever's faster gets the meal. Tanjiro had to fight them both alone. He used his 6-month training, steady breathing, find the weak spots. Then he unleashed water breathing and cleanly took them out. It was his first solo demon kill. He was hyped. He silently thanked his master for the special sword, the Nichiren blade forged by the cores. Any demon cut by it instantly poofs to nothing. With a normal sword, Tanjiro could swing till next week and still do 0 damage. While praying for the 2 demons, he caught a whiff of something nasty. He turned to see someone running for dear life. Chasing him was a giant demon holding another guy, probably already logged out for good. The demon ate him, growing even bigger. Seeing it about to snack on someone else made Tanjiro panic. But he shook it off, sliced off its arm, and saved the guy. That's when the demon told Tanjiro Master Sakonji was the one who captured it and locked it in this forest. And for revenge, it's taken out about 50 exam challengers so far. Among them were Sakonji's students Makimo and Sabito. Both wore his warding masks when they died. Hearing that, Tanjiro was furious knowing it killed those two. He charged in, blade first, slicing off its arms. But the demon countered with one arm, punching Tanjiro into a tree. His mask shattered while the demon grinned, ready to bag another of Sakonji's students. Tanjiro snapped back in time to dodge its arm. He realized no matter how much he cut, its arms would just heal. So the plan take its head and poof it out of existence. He leapt into the air toward it. Makimo watched, worried its neck was crazy tough. But Sabito hyped her up, sure Tanjiro would pull it off. Tanjiro took a deep breath for the final strike. Spotting its weak point, he unleashed a water-breathing slash. Its head dropped instantly, body fading to nothing right after. But Tanjiro wasn't smiling. He knew what this demon had gone through. It was once a kind kid, but lost its humanity after turning into a demon. Then Sakonji hunted it down and trapped it here. Tanjiro held its arm before it vanished completely. He prayed it could be reborn human someday. The children's spirits finally rested, knowing Tanjiro won. Tanjiro vowed to survive and return to his master and sister. He kept slaying demons to free them, and after 7 exhausting nights, reached the exam's end. At sunrise, Tanjiro saw only 4 survivors left. He thought back to that guy from before, probably Demon Chow by now. 2 girls arrived, saying they were now Demon Slayer Corps members, uniforms for everyone, plus a crow for communication. Only the blonde guy, Zenitsu, got a sparrow instead. There was also a scar-faced hothead named Genya. He grabbed the white-haired girl's head, demanding a sword right away. Tanjiro instantly gripped Genya's hand, forcing him to let go. The girls then brought out metal pieces called Nikirin. They're used to forge demon-slaying swords. Tanjiro quickly picked one to have a blade made. The Corps' leader was thrilled to welcome 5 new members. Tanjiro returned home, totally drained after 7 days of non-stop fighting. But seeing Nezuko awake after a year-long sleep made him light up. They had an emotional reunion. Sakonji hugged them both, glad Tanjiro was safe. That night, Tanjiro told him about killing the shape-shifting forest demon. Sakonji warned he'd face more demons with blood demon arts like that. Nezuko didn't have any powers. She recovered by sleeping instead of eating humans. 15 days later, a Corps swordsmith came to deliver Tanjiro's blade. He explained Nikirin swords are made to fight demons. Their color changes depending on the wielder. The smith noticed Tanjiro's red hair and eyes. He figured it meant fire-related. So the sword should turn bright red in his hands. But when Tanjiro drew it, it turned jet black. Sakonji said he'd never seen a black Nikirin sword before. The smith was salty. It was supposed to be red. Right then, Tanjiro's crow showed up with his first mission. In a northwest town, there's a demon snatching women to eat. Tanjiro's job is to find its hideout and take it down. Hearing that, Tanjiro got nervous. It's his first mission as a demon slayer. He geared up, ready to head out. Nezuko was hyped too. It's been ages since she got to tag along. Master told him the uniform can block low-rank demons' claws. As for the Nikirin sword, black is super rare, so no clue what its traits are. He also gave Tanjiro a light wooden box, so Nezuko could ride inside during the day. Tanjiro was stoked. Now the siblings wouldn't have to split up anymore. Master adjusted his uniform before he left. Tanjiro said goodbye like he was parting with his own father. Soon, he reached the northwest town. Since demons don't show up in daylight, the streets were crowded. Then he spotted a guy wandering with a dead look in his eyes. People whispered his girlfriend got taken by a demon. So Tanjiro called out to the guy, Kazumi, to ask what happened. Kazumi took him to the spot where she vanished. Tanjiro sniffed around. Traces of demon scent lingered, but only in small spots. It moved in a super weird way, so he had to check every path it took. People watching thought he was just some sniffing dog. But he ignored them and kept searching the whole town. By nightfall, he refused to rest. The demons were about to act. Meanwhile, a dark shadow stalked a young woman at her home. She changed into sleepwear, and that's when the demon struck. Hands shot up from the ground, dragging her under. Sensing trouble, Tanjiro rushed to her house. Seeing his speed, Kazumi realized he was a demon slayer. Tanjiro knew the girl was caught, but not where the demon was hiding. He sniffed for the strongest scent of demon aura. Once locked on, he stabbed his sword straight in. When her clothes floated up, he yanked her free. Losing its prey, the demon got seriously salty. It dove underground to attack, so Tanjiro handed her to Kazumi for safety. Even underground, it still left a scent trail. Tanjiro followed it right away. But plot twist, it split into three. Tanjiro countered with water breathing. He remembered Master's words, only one demon can pass on its blood to create others. Its name is Muzan, around for thousands of years. Master believed only Muzan knew how to turn Nezuko human again. So to save her, he had to find that demon. Back to the fight, Tanjiro struggled against all three. No matter how many hits, they'd dive to heal. Plus, he had to guard Kazumi, so he couldn't go all out. The demon bragged it only targeted girls around 16. Said that's when they taste the best, and no matter how many, it's never enough. So they keep hunting more girls. Hearing that, Kazumi feared his girlfriend was already gone. The demons kept pressing Tanjiro hard. One tried a sneak attack, but Nezuko popped in and kicked it sky high. It was shocked the first time seeing a swordsman and a demon fight side by side. Nezuko totally hates demons, but she's super gentle with humans. That's 'cause Master Sakonji once planted in her mind, every human is her family. And demons that hurt people, mortal enemies, no mercy. So Nezuko dashed straight at the demons to throw hands. But right as she raised her leg to kick, it dove under, the other one too. They waited to ambush, but when it popped up, Nezuko sidestepped easy dodge. Tanjiro was shook. Nezuko was going toe-to-toe with them. No matter how it attacked, it couldn't land a hit. So Tanjiro told Nezuko to guard the other two, while he dove into demon turf. Down there, he saw clothes and stuff from girls they'd kidnapped. He swore he'd never forgive these demons. The demon thought Tanjiro jumping in meant free dinner. No air, hard to move, perfect trap. But they didn't know Tanjiro's brutal training. Nowhere or not, he's still up here. Two demons circled him, waiting for an opening. But Tanjiro's sharp nose caught the moment they closed in. He unleashed water breathing, sixth form a savage slash. A whirlpool erupted, shredding them to bits. But after so long underwater, he was gasping. He swam up to back Nezuko and the others. Meanwhile, topside, Nezuko was still evenly matched with the last demon. She dodged, then punched it square in the gut, followed by a kick that sent it flying. Seeing she was an easy prey, it wondered if Muzan had given her too much blood. Nezuko's speed was insane, her hits deadly, but in one slip, she got tagged. Right then, Tanjiro burst up and sliced off both its arms. It was shocked Tanjiro had wiped out the other two clones. Tanjiro demanded every bit of intel on Muzan. But just thinking of Muzan made it panic. When it was turned into a demon, Muzan threatened it no talking, ever. Suddenly, it regrew its arms and attacked, so Tanjiro finished it instantly. Tanjiro looked gutted, still no clue about Muzan. Kazumi was still in shock, learning his lover was gone. So Tanjiro told him to keep living strong. After all, Tanjiro had lost many loved ones too. He handed Kazumi his lover's keepsake and told him to be strong, to protect the girl by his side. Not just Tanjiro, many have suffered because of Muzan. He swore to find and end him. Right then, the crow arrived with a new mission. Demon spotted again in Tokyo. Arriving there, Tanjiro couldn't help but marvel. First time seeing so many people and tall buildings. He led Nezuko around, looking for a rest spot. They stopped at a roadside udon shop. Tanjiro ordered, Nezuko dozed off exhausted. Before Tanjiro could take a bite, a familiar scent hit him. He dropped the bowl on the spot. Tanjiro instantly bolts after the scent, the same one from his family's killer. And no one else but Kibutsuji Muzan himself. The demon who's been alive for thousands of years. Tanjiro's ready to slice Muzan right here, but surprise, dude's got a wife and kid now. Turns out he's been playing human husband like some normal guy. And his wife's actually human, so Tanjiro's worried for her. Muzan doesn't want to cause a scene, so he plans to dip. Then he casually scratches a random passerby with his claw. Boom, the guy's body warps and he turns demon instantly. Next thing, the dude lunges at his wife, and Tanjiro quickly shoves cloth in his mouth, yelling for her to cover the wound before it's game over. Tanjiro's baffled how a normal guy just demonified out of nowhere. Only one answer, Muzan's dirty work. But Tanjiro can't leave the guy just to chase Muzan. So he yells that no matter where Muzan runs, he'll hunt him down and end him. Moments later, Tokyo cops show up and say, "Step aside, we'll arrest him. Guess they have zero clue demons are real." Tanjiro refuses, worried the guy will go feral on them. Right then, a scent spreads out, making the cops hallucinate. Turns out the helper's a woman, and also a demon. She says she's also out to take Muzan down. Meanwhile, Muzan drops his fam home, itching to go find Tanjiro. He summons two underlings and orders them to bring Tanjiro to him. Muzan remembers Tanjiro's earrings with a terrified face. They're identical to a legendary swordsman who once beat him. Tanjiro heads back to the udon shop and the bald chef's mad for dropping the super deluxe noodles he worked hard on. To make it up, Tanjiro orders not one, but two bowls. The chef's like, "How's Nezuko gonna eat with that bamboo in her mouth?" But it's just Tanjiro eating. He downs both bowls in one go, then says bye to bald bro. On the way back, the siblings run into that guy from earlier. He says he'll take Tanjiro to meet the lady. But the moment he sees Nezuko, he calls her a country bumpkin ugly girl. Tanjiro, annoyed, tells him to get his eyes checked ASAP. 'Cause Nezuko used to be the town's top beauty. And this clown dares to diss her. Nope, not okay. On the way, Tanjiro keeps bragging about her cuteness. Yu doesn't care. He leads Tanjiro to a dead end, then walks through a wall. It's the mansion of that demon blood lady from earlier. Inside, she's tending to the injured wife from before. She introduces herself as Tamayo, and the guy's Yushiro. Tamayo broke Muzan's curse, so she's off human meat now. Still, she needs a bit of blood to keep her form. She buys it from donors, so no one gets hurt. Tamayo says 200 years ago, she turned Yushiro into a demon to save him. Tanjiro's shocked as so Muzan's not the only one who can demonize people. But she only does it if they truly want it. Tanjiro smells pure honesty from her. So, he asks if there's a way to turn Nezuko back into human. Tamayo said she's not sure how yet, but she'll figure it out later. To do that, she asked Nezuko for a bit of her blood. 'Cause Nezuko's way different from demons with Muzan's blood. She also asked Tanjiro to collect blood from other demons for research. Once the cure's ready, not just Nezuko, but many demons could be saved. While the three were talking, two Muzan-controlled demons were hunting Tanjiro outside. One of them could track just like Tanjiro. The eyes on his hands saw the path Tanjiro took. So they quickly found Tamayo's place. One threw two bouncy balls inside, wrecking the whole room. When they looked out, it was Muzan's minions here to drag Tanjiro back to their boss. These two were part of the 12 Kazuki, working directly for Muzan. Their names, Temari Demon and Arrow Demon. The Temari Demon could attack by throwing those deadly balls. Arrow Demon used his hand-eyes to steer the balls wherever he wanted. He could also track, so even with Yushiro hiding the place, he still found it. Temari Demon kept throwing balls non-stop to force Tanjiro outside. Seeing the danger, Tanjiro told Nezuko to get the injured girl to safety. He told Tamayo to hide since the demons were after him, not them. But Tamayo said she's a demon, she can heal even if hurt. So he should just fight without worrying. Outside, Temari Demon kept attacking non-stop. Tanjiro used water breathing to slash the ball she threw. But Arrow Demon steered it away, giving Tanjiro a hard time. Then Temari Demon grew 6 arms, hurling 6 balls at once, making Tanjiro struggle. He couldn't predict their movement, so he couldn't fully protect Tamayo and Yushiro. Seeing him struggle, Yushiro slapped a vision talisman on his forehead. Now Tanjiro could see the ball's movement clearly. He told Nezuko to take out Arrow Demon hiding in the tree. Then ran outside to face Temari Demon head-on. She was thrilled Tanjiro was exactly whom Muzan wanted. So she threw all her balls at him. Meanwhile, Nezuko found Arrow Demon and kicked his arm hard. The balls lost control, letting Tanjiro destroy them easily. Then his sword took all 6 of her arms. Tanjiro planned to take their blood for Tamayo's research. But Temari Demon laughed, said he's not ready for that. All 6 arms grew back instantly, worrying Tanjiro. Upper moons are a whole different level from the demons he's fought before. Nezuko then got blasted by Arrow Demon toward Tanjiro. He caught her while dodging Temari Demon's attack. Yushiro rushed outside to help Tanjiro. They agreed to swap targets. Nezuko and Yushiro would handle Temari Demon, Tanjiro would take Arrow Demon. Tanjiro spotted Arrow Demon's weak point and went for it. But Arrow Demon used his arrows to fling Tanjiro back. Then launched him through the air from all directions. Tanjiro used water breathing to soften the blows. Meanwhile, Nezuko was still dodging Temari Demon's balls like crazy. To help her out, Yushiro went invisible and punched Temari Demon hard. You said anyone who hurts Lady Tamayo will never get forgiven. And when those 2 demons heard her name, they realized she's the runaway demon. So, they decided to catch both Tanjiro and Tamayo to offer to Muzan. Then Nezuko got caught off guard and got kicked into the house. Lady Tamayo treated her like a mom would. Meanwhile, Tanjiro was still struggling solo against Arrow Demon. His sword couldn't cut those arrow projectiles. Then the demon wrapped 1 arrow around Tanjiro's arm. So, he spun like crazy midair to fling it off. That's when Tanjiro realized he could control those arrows. He dashed forward and used water breathing to swirl them back. No matter how hard the demon tried, he lost control. Then Tanjiro finished with a clean water strike to take his head. But the demon was still alive, using his last strength to try to kill Tanjiro. forcing Tanjiro to spam moves just to reduce the arrow damage. He kept attacking till both arms felt like they'd fall off. But the demon still sent him flying in every direction until it turned to ash. Only then did Tanjiro drop down. Even with both arms useless, he still wanted to help. So, he bit his sword and crawled forward. Meanwhile, Ball Demon was giving Yushiro a hard time. Even if he turned invisible, she could still hit him. So Nezuko dashed in, kicked the ball into the air. She probably thought Yushiro was her little bro, so she had to protect him. She kept kicking those balls away, making the demon super salty. Nobody knew where Nezuko got that insane strength. So the demon went 1v1 with her, kicking for like 500 rounds to see who's boss. In the end, she lost to Nezuko's monster kick. Tamayo noticed Nezuko had powered up on her own. But if it was a full-on deathmatch, Nezuko might still lose. So Tamayo stepped in to finish the demon herself. She secretly used a blood demon art called White Dawn Fragrance, hypnotizing her into blurting Muzan's name, and saying that name sealed her fate. She begged Muzan for mercy, but it was too late. She died in a terrifying way in front of everyone. Seeing Tanjiro confused, Tamayo explained Muzan cursed all demons he created. If any demon said his name, they'd be instantly destroyed. Yushiro gave Tanjiro a cloth so he wouldn't inhale the fragrance. That stuff is super bad for humans. Tamayo also told him these demons weren't part of the 12 Kazuki too weak, no rank marks on their eyes. She then asked for some of the demon's blood to research an antidote and treat Nezuko, since she inhaled the scent earlier. Tanjiro felt sad deep down. That demon was just a kid who wanted to play but had to die so painfully. It made him hate Muzan even more. When the sun came up, he went to check on Nezuko. She was so happy to see her brother safe. Then she ran to hug Tamayo warmly and patted Yushiro's head like he was her little bro. Tanjiro explained she saw them as family, so she fought to protect them. Tamayo was touched and thanked Nezuko. Watching that, Yushiro remembered his past. If Tamayo hadn't saved him, he wouldn't be here. Tamayo decided to leave to stay out of Muzan's sight and even offered to take Nezuko so she wouldn't have to fight demons anymore. At first, Tanjiro hesitated because he wanted his sister safe. Nezuko grabbed Tanjiro's hand. She didn't want to leave her brother. Tanjiro thanked Tamayo for looking out for his sister. He waved goodbye to them and left with Nezuko. Even after finishing the mission, the messenger crow brought Tanjiro a new job. He ran into Zenitsu, who was kneeling to propose to a girl. Zenitsu's sparrow flew over to Tanjiro and chirped non-stop. It was basically asking Tanjiro to stop that goofy blonde dude. Tanjiro pulled Zenitsu off and told the girl to go home fast before he clings to her. But the girl, fed up, slapped Zenitsu a few times. Tanjiro then learned she saved Zenitsu because he was hurt. But Zenitsu assumed she did it because she loved him. Classic simp energy, bro. After she left, Zenitsu blamed Tanjiro for costing him his chance to marry her. Then Zenitsu whined that he'd been tricked by a girl and is drowning in debt. So he joined the Demon Slayer Corps to escape his debts. Zenitsu said he's so weak he might die on the next mission. So, he made Tanjiro promise to protect him so he'd come back alive. After a bout of crying, the two guys finally set off together. Seeing Zenitsu hungry, Tanjiro gave him a handful of rice. When it turned out to be the last rice, Zenitsu split it in half so they could both eat. Tanjiro understands animals, so he heard the sparrow out Zenitsu just flirting, not doing real work. Right then the messenger crow showed up with a mission for Tanjiro and Zenitsu, so this time Tanjiro would go with Zenitsu to support him. Soon they reached a house in the woods. Tanjiro said he smelled a lot of blood inside. Tanjiro found two terrified kids and asked why they were so scared. When the kids stayed silent, he showed them the sparrow to help calm them. They said a fierce demon lived there and their eldest brother had been taken inside. No one knew if he was alive. Seeing that, Tanjiro promised he'd save their big brother. Zenitsu then heard a terrifying drum beat coming from the house. Tanjiro heard nothing. His ears aren't as sharp as Zenitsu's. After a few drums, a young man flew out of the house. Tanjiro ran over, but the man died soon after from his wounds. Luckily, he wasn't the kid's big brother. Tanjiro saw the demon had taken many people, and the drum inside kept getting louder. So he urged Zenitsu to go inside and kill the demon. But Zenitsu was so scared his teeth chattered. Tanjiro got fed up and left Zenitsu outside. Zenitsu scrambled to apologize to calm him down. Tanjiro left Nezuko's box with the kids and asked them to watch it. Then he and Zenitsu went inside to look for the demon. Seeing Zenitsu still scared, Tanjiro told him to watch his own back. Tanjiro was still injured from the previous mission. Zenitsu panicked, thinking he might have to die today. The two kids suddenly ran into the house after hearing rattling from Nezuko's box. Then the house shook hard, and a sudden drumbeat warped the space inside. All four of them were then separated. Tanjiro noticed every drumbeat shifted the space here. He told the girl Teruko not to worry. He promised he'd protect her and get her brother out safe. Then the drum-wielding demon appeared, huge. Tanjiro was sure it had eaten many people to get that big. Meanwhile, Zenitsu's still rocking that scaredy cat face as always. Even the little boy with him is speechless seeing a demon slayer like that. Then Zenitsu tells the kid, "Let's sneak out of here." But when he opens the door, bam, another random room, so he panics, looking for the exit. After opening a bunch of doors, he runs into a scary dude with a boar's head. The boar guy spots Zenitsu, bolts outside, and starts stomping around the house. Meanwhile, Tanjiro tells Teruko to hide so he can fight the demon. He shouts that he's a demon slayer to grab its attention. But the demon just keeps mumbling, so Tanjiro charges with his sword. Before he can hit, it bangs. The drum room spins like crazy. At the same time, boar guy smashes in and lands in Tanjiro's room. His weapons, dual jagged katanas, sharp as heck. He instantly charges the demon, aiming to kill. But one drum hit flips the room again, messing everyone up. In the chaos, boar guy steps on Teruko. Tanjiro kicks his leg aside. That sets boar guy off big time. He lunges at Tanjiro, forcing him to back off. Tanjiro yells, "The demon's the enemy." Boar guy doesn't care. The demon, seeing no one's paying attention, slams the drum like a claw attack, then keeps drumming non-stop, attacking and flipping the room over and over. After watching for a bit, Tanjiro figures out the demon's power. Suddenly the room changes without a drum hit. Tanjiro suspects there's more than one demon here. He heads into the next room and finds Teruko's big brother Kyoshi banging a drum. Meanwhile, Zenitsu's still hunting for the exit. He can't stand this creepy place anymore. Even the tiniest sound makes him go pale. The kid sees Zenitsu shaking like a leaf and is just speechless. Suddenly, they spot a nasty-looking demon crawling out from under the floor. It scurries after Zenitsu, making him run for his life. The demon sticks out its tongue to attack Zenitsu's dodging and sprinting non-stop. They rush into a room. Now both are trapped, nowhere to run. Zenitsu starts bawling. He cries that he'll never make it home to get married but swears to protect the kid no matter what. When the demon enters, Zenitsu suddenly collapses out cold, leaving the kid face to face with the demon, terrified. But as it attacks, its tongue suddenly gets sliced off. Zenitsu, still asleep, stands up looking insanely cool. He grabs his sword and takes a deep breath, then uses thunder breathing, first form decapitates the demon in a flash. When he wakes up, he has no clue what just happened. The demon's already gone. Thinking the kid killed it, Zenitsu kneels down and says, "I'll owe you my life forever, bro." Meanwhile, bored guy finds a big chunky demon, slashes it to bits with beast breathing in just a few strikes. Then keeps sprinting around the house looking for more demons. The drum demon's trying to kill as many people as possible to gain power. It used to be Lower Moon 6 and Muzan's 12 Kazuki. Basically, one of the top 12 demons serving the boss. But it couldn't get stronger, so Muzan took the number from its eye and kicked it out. Now it's desperate to power up and rejoin the 12 Kazuki. Meanwhile, Teruko's overjoyed to find her big brother Kiyoshi. Seeing him hurt, Tanjiro uses his master's medicine to patch him up. Kiyoshi says he's been trapped here for days. And the three demons kept fighting over who gets to eat him. During the fight, the drum demon dropped the drum. So Kiyoshi grabbed it and kept banging it to warp around the house. Tanjiro's crow explains Kiyoshi has rare blood packed with power, making all three demons drool over him. The drum demon's getting close, so Tanjiro tells the siblings to use the drum to warp away. Once he kills the demon, he'll track them by their scent. Then he charges straight at the demon. When it hits the drum, the room keeps flipping non-stop. It can also send invisible claw slashes at Tanjiro, forcing him to dodge. But Tanjiro's still injured from last mission and hasn't figured out how to beat it. One wrong move and those claws could insta-kill him. But losing now would crush Zenitsu big time. So Tanjiro hypes himself up to keep fighting. Meanwhile, Zenitsu and Soichi are trying to escape the house. But they've just been wandering in circles. Suddenly, a drum hit flips the room. And they accidentally get thrown outside. Back to Tanjiro, he's struggling against the drum demon flipping the room and attacking non-stop, barely letting him breathe. Tanjiro figures the only way to win is to stir its feelings. So he yells, asking its name. The demon, Kyuge, suddenly recalls his past. His teacher once trashed his writing, calling it garbage, and told him to just stay home and play drums since no one would read his stuff. That rage made him kill his teacher. Now even angrier, he keeps drumming to torture Tanjiro. His papers go flying as the room flips over and over. Though dodging hard, Tanjiro never steps on them. Kyuge feels respected. Tanjiro adapts to the room's moves and dodges easier. Using water-breathing ninth form, he charges at Kyuge. He spots an opening thread, slashes along it, and takes Kyuge's head clean off. Before fading, Kyuge hears Tanjiro praise his writing and dies feeling grateful. Tanjiro then remembers to collect demon blood for Tamayo's research. He stabs it with Yushiro's needle to draw the blood, then sends it off with Tamayo's delivery cat. He finds Kiyoshi and Teruko's room, but opening the door gets smacked by a book. They thought he was a demon. Tanjiro reassures them it's over and leads them out. But he smells blood and rushes to check. Turns out poor guy sniffed Nezuko inside the wooden box and went to smash it. Zenitsu instantly jumps in to shield the box, because Tanjiro told him it's worth more than his own life. But Boar keeps yelling for him to move. Demon slayers only have one job: kill demons. Zenitsu actually knows a demon's inside thanks to his sharp hearing. But he trusts Tanjiro enough to wait for his side of the story. So even while getting wrecked, Zenitsu keeps protecting the box. He even tosses Boar aside to hug it like it's treasure. Right then, Tanjiro arrives to see Boar stomping Zenitsu, who's still clutching the box tight. Seeing he can't break Zenitsu, boar pulls his sword. Tanjiro rushes in to throw hands with this feral boar. Tanjiro landed a clean punch to Boar Boy's ribs, cracking 2 of them and sending him flying meters away. Then Tanjiro told him demon slayers can't use swords on each other. Boar Boy grinned and challenged Tanjiro to settle it with fists. Before he even finished talking, he rushed in, ready to throw hands. Living in the wild made him fast and tough, so Tanjiro struggled blocking non-stop blows. He kept going low, making Tanjiro feel like he's fighting a real boar. One slip in focus and Tanjiro took a kick that left him dazed. Boar Boy, proud of his flexy body, mocked Tanjiro with a dirty smirk. Tanjiro noticed he was hurt and told him to stop. But he kept charging, so Tanjiro grabbed him to hold him down, then headbutted him so hard he froze, and his mask fell off. Zenitsu burst out laughing. Dude's face looked like a girl's. Boar Boy scared Zenitsu with one glare, making him freak out. He introduced himself as Inosuke, but mid-sentence, he collapsed unconscious. That headbutt gave him a concussion, but Tanjiro's head was fine, impressing Zenitsu. A few minutes later, Inosuke woke up, then went feral again, chasing Zenitsu to scrap, leaving everyone speechless. Tanjiro asked Inosuke to help bury the demon's victims. But Inosuke just wanted to fight, not dig graves. Zenitsu thought this dude's brain was busted. Tanjiro teased him as too weak to even bury the dead. Inosuke got salty but couldn't touch Tanjiro. By sunset, they'd finished all the graves. Meanwhile, Inosuke was trying to learn Tanjiro's headbutt move. Then their crow told them to head down the mountain. But Inosuke kept tailing Tanjiro to challenge him. Zenitsu still wanted Soichi to follow him for protection. So Tanjiro knocked his buddy out to stop him bothering Soichi. The 3 kids said goodbye and left, with Inosuke still pestering Tanjiro. They were so loud, Zenitsu woke up from his co. They stopped at a house at the foot of the mountain. The crows said they'd rest here until fully healed. The owner, an old lady, worked so fast Zenitsu thought she was some kind of yokai. The boys had dinner after a long day of fighting. Used to the wild, Inosuke ate with his hands. Seeing him chow down, Tanjiro gave him his share. The old lady prepped futons, but first they had to check for serious injuries. A doctor came, saying all 3 had multiple injuries and broken ribs. Inosuke also had a giant bump on his head. Zenitsu told Inosuke to apologize for punching him earlier, but he refused, so Zenitsu threatened to stop hanging out with him. Tanjiro asked why he joined the Demon Slayers. Inosuke said he once fought a swordsman who entered his forest. After hearing about demons from him, he took the entrance test to see if demons were really that strong. He also had no parents, so fighting strong creatures became his hobby. Zenitsu then asked Tanjiro why he carried a demon around. Tanjiro thanked him for protecting the box, then showed him what's inside. Nezuko came out looking super cute, leaving Zenitsu stunned. He got mad knowing Tanjiro's been traveling with a pretty girl while he gets rejected and punched by Boar Boy. No humiliation beats this. Only beating Tanjiro could heal his pride. Next morning, Zenitsu followed Nezuko around like a stalker. When Tanjiro stopped him, he called him bro-in-law to get approval. Nezuko instantly left. Inosuke didn't care about girls, he only wanted food and training. So, he barged in to challenge Tanjiro for round 2. After a few days, the doc said all 3 dudes were fully healed. While Zenitsu was still flirting with Nezuko, a crow showed up with a new mission. All 3 got sent by the Demon Slayer Corps to Natagumo Mountain in the northeast. So they said bye to the old lady and set off, knowing this mission was hella risky. The old lady did a fire ritual to wish them luck. But Inosuke, the wild boar dude, totally misunderstood and thought she was gonna burn them all to ash. Tanjiro and Zenitsu thanked the old lady and rushed to Natagumo Mountain. After a full day of non-stop running, they finally made it. Suddenly Zenitsu plopped down, freaking everyone out. He said the mountain was giving off creepy vibes. Inosuke instantly roasted Zenitsu for being a scaredy cat. Tanjiro sniffed blood in the air and pushed everyone to rush into the forest. There they saw a demon slayer running out begging for help. Tanjiro ran to help but got caught in spider webs and disappeared into the woods. Knowing this demon was dangerous, Tanjiro vowed to track it down no matter what. Inosuke, hyped to flex, followed Tanjiro into the woods, leaving Zenitsu behind. Inside, demons trapped tons of demon slayers with webs everywhere, making it a nightmare to move. Tanjiro thanked Inosuke for coming with him, feeling way more confident and chill. They found a demon slayer named Murata slowly moving through the forest. Tanjiro told Murata he came to help, but Murata was bummed Tanjiro wasn't a top-tier slayer. Low-rank slayers here just become demon snacks, Murata said, which made Inosuke want to throw hands. Murata said their group started with 10, but somehow they turned on each other mid-mission. Murata was the lucky one who escaped and is still alive. The Demon Slayer Corps thought the demons here were part of the 12 Kazuki, so they sent Pillars Ju and Shinobu to back up. Zenitsu felt super guilty for leaving the other 2 in the woods while he chilled alone, scared his brothers might ghost him after this. Then Zenitsu's little sparrow tried to hype him to help, but Zenitsu didn't get bird talk and got bit hard on the hand. Zenitsu suddenly realized Tanjiro had brought Nezuko into the woods, called himself dumb, and booked it to protect his precious. Tanjiro heard weird sounds getting closer. Those were slayers controlled by the spider demon. They charged at Tanjiro, but he dodged, not wanting to kill his own. Inosuke was ready to wipe them out to clear the way. Tanjiro stopped him, saying they're all comrades, but Inosuke headbutted Tanjiro for the dare. Tanjiro saw the slayers were controlled by webs, so he and Inosuke destroyed the webs to free them. But the demon used forest spiders to race-spin the webs, controlling the slayers again. Inosuke kept smashing baby spiders, but Tanjiro said only killing the Spider Queen would save everyone. Just then a demon came close, saying Tanjiro was ruining their peaceful home and threatened no mercy if he stayed. Inosuke charged at the demon with his sword but couldn't reach it cause it was too tall. Tanjiro realized this demon wasn't the Spider Queen and told Inosuke to use his beast breath to find her. Using his 7th beast breath form, Inosuke tracked through the forest and soon found the Spider Queen controlling the slayers. But they were still stuck fighting slayers, so Murata said he'd hold them off so the 2 could take down the queen. Tanjiro grabbed Inosuke and sprinted toward the Spider Queen. The Spider Queen was chillin' with her toys when her kid showed up and freaked her out. The kid threatened to snitch to Dad if she failed, so she begged him not to and promised to wipe out everyone in the forest. Tanjiro almost there met a female slayer controlled by the Spider Queen who warned him to call the pillars or everyone's dead. Controlled by webs, she kept attacking Tanjiro, while other slayers begged him to kill them to free them. But Tanjiro couldn't hurt his friends, so he had to think of a way to save everyone. He avoided using attacks, ran around the forest to make her chase, then suddenly hugged and tossed her up in a tree, trapping her. The web stopped controlling, and Inosuke copied Tanjiro and freed more slayers. The demon got salty, losing control, and unleashed a strong puppet demon to kill everyone in the forest. For slayers not controlled, it snapped their necks with webs in seconds. Tanjiro watched in pain but felt helpless to do anything more. So both took off straight for the spider demon but ran into its puppet on the way. Zenitsu was now in the forest, calling out for Nezuko, but it was so dark he just hugged his sparrow to calm down. He thought if he just finds Nezuko and escapes, he doesn't care what happens to his bro and boar friend. Meanwhile, Tanjiro and Inosuke fought the puppet. Tanjiro planned a one-hit kill move. But Inosuke rushed ahead and got tangled in spider webs all over him. The puppet tried to finish off Inosuke, but Tanjiro blocked its sword and freed him. Inosuke was low-key impressed after being saved by Tanjiro. Tanjiro sat down to set up Inosuke for a sword strike that cut off the puppet's arms. Then Tanjiro used his fourth water breath form to chop off the puppet's legs, letting Inosuke finish it with a stab through the body. The puppet instantly crumbled to dust. After that, Inosuke threw Tanjiro toward the spider demon with full force. The demon freaked cause the puppet was dead, didn't know how to apologize to its kid, then saw Tanjiro flying in. It gave up and accepted death. Tanjiro swung his sword to let it go peacefully. As it vanished, the demon recalled her past. She was always beaten by her husband and son for no reason. Family saw but couldn't help. Seeing Tanjiro's kind eyes made her feel warm, like he was someone close from before. Before disappearing, she warned Tanjiro to watch out for the 12 Kazuki. Tanjiro knew the 12 Kazuki got a power boost from that witch's blood, so he planned to kill them and bring blood to Tamayo for an antidote to save Nezuko. He then checked on Inosuke, who was badly hurt but acting tough, so Tanjiro had to bandage him to stop the bleeding. Zenitsu called for Nezuko with no luck and got bitten badly by a spider. Pain was insane. He heard noises and saw a huge human-headed spider, scared him stiff. Zenitsu booked it, telling himself it's just a bad dream while running. He reached a floating house filled with spider-turned slayers. The smell was awful, and a massive human-headed spider came out. Zenitsu cursed it out and dipped ASAP. The spider told Zenitsu he was poisoned from the bite, and in 30 minutes he'd turn into a spider like the others hanging there. Then he'd be their slave, crawling like a real spider on the ground. Looking at his hand changing, Zenitsu freaked and ran as spiders swarmed him. The spider said no matter where he runs, he'll turn into a spider anyway. Zenitsu climbed a tree, buried his face, and cried hard, worried Nezuko would never want him if he turned spider. While crying, he remembered his painful past, always hiding in trees to dodge training with his master. Even though the master once saved him from a death trap by a girl. The master said Zenitsu was strong and should try to be a demon slayer, but Zenitsu always felt weak AF, like a snail, so training seemed useless. Then lightning struck him, instantly turning his hair blonde. Didn't kill him though. He thought life was cursed beyond belief, and now he'd become a spider with a bald head. Below, baby spiders climbed the tree while Zenitsu's hair fell out in patches. He blamed the ugly spider for all this and got so salty he fell asleep right there. The spider laughed, thinking Zenitsu was just a scared loser, not knowing Zenitsu changes when asleep. He activated the first thunder-breathing form and charged the spider, which sprayed acid to block him. The spider was shocked how fast Zenitsu moved now, but Zenitsu only stayed in one sword stance. The spider thought he had just one move, but thunder-breathing has 6 in total. Though Zenitsu's master said mastering just one is more than enough. Baby spiders swarmed Zenitsu from all sides. The spider's poison made him cough up a lot of blood. But when they attacked, Zenitsu powered up, blasting them away, then moved lightning fast, making the spider retreat inside the house. Zenitsu used its webs to chase it, then sliced so fast the spider's head flew off and vaporized. But Zenitsu couldn't move anymore, the poison sunk deep, and he thought this might be the end. He flashed back to Nezuko and family, and his master's words to never give up, so he used his breath to slow the poison. Tanjiro and Inosuke searched the forest for other demons and suddenly saw a female spider demon. The spider demon screamed to call her dad out to feast on Tanjiro and Inosuke. Then a huge demon jumped straight at the two. This demon dad had a massive body and a terrifying face. When it charged at Inosuke, Tanjiro immediately attacked to help, but the demon's body was so tough his sword couldn't cut through. Ju and Shinobu arrived at the forest where Tanjiro and the others were fighting. They saw many new demon slayer recruits had already died here. So Ju and Shinobu split up to hunt demons and search for survivors. Tanjiro was still struggling against the demon dad. Its body was too hard for his or Inosuke's sword to cut. Each punch hit like a meteor, forcing Tanjiro to dodge constantly, and Inosuke got blasted far away by a punch. Inosuke saw he was bleeding heavily and doubted he could keep fighting. Tanjiro cut down a big tree to crush the demon, making Inosuke amazed at how well Tanjiro timed it. Seeing the demon struggling underwater, Tanjiro raised his sword to finish it, but it suddenly rose and hit Tanjiro airborne with the tree. Tanjiro told Inosuke to survive until he came back. Zenitsu lost control of his breathing. The spider poison spread through his body, making him immobile. Just before passing out, he saw a butterfly approaching Shinobu. Luckily, Shinobu was there to save him, while Tanjiro was now flying far from the last spot. Tanjiro landed safely using the second water breath form. He heard crying and found Ru tormenting his sister. Tanjiro asked why demons like them would treat family this way. Ru said it was a family matter and didn't concern Tanjiro. He got mad hearing the word family. Tanjiro said Ru's family was fake since there was no love at all. Then some delusional guy came to kill Ru to advance in rank, thinking Ru was just a kid. Before he could act, Ru tore the guy apart into pieces. Ru got pissed hearing Tanjiro call his family fake. But Tanjiro wasn't scared and was ready for an all-out fight. Inosuke was playing hide-and-seek with Ru, badly injured. While trying to figure out how to kill Ru, the demon found him. Inosuke followed Tanjiro's advice to wait, but when Tanjiro didn't come, Inosuke went to fight Ru himself. He attacked with one sword while repeatedly stabbing with the other like nails. Finally, Inosuke cut off one of Ru's arms and felt like the smartest guy alive. Then Ru ran away, and Inosuke chased after him. Seeing Ru curled up on a tree, Inosuke thought he must be scared shitless. But Ru suddenly transformed into an even more terrifying form, then jumped straight at Inosuke, who was at a loss on how to fight. With his injuries worsening, Inosuke thought he'd probably die here. But remembering Tanjiro's order to survive, he grabbed his sword and fought back. He got punched flying through the forest, and both swords broke during his counterattack. The demon grabbed Inosuke and tried to crush him with its big arm. Just then Ju arrived and cut off the demon's arm. The arm quickly regenerated, but Ju used water breath to slice the demon into pieces. Inosuke was amazed at how insanely strong Ju was. Tanjiro struggled to dodge Rui's attacks. After a while, he smelled the threads and thought he could kill this upper moon demon. But when he attacked, his sword was suddenly cut into by the threads. He couldn't believe the sword forged by the demon slayer cores was destroyed so easily. Inosuke's demon was already dust. Inosuke challenged Ju to a fight, impressed by his strength. Ju told him to train for 100 years before challenging him. But Inosuke was stubborn, so Ju tied him to a tree and left him yelling alone. Shinobu injected Zenitsu with antidote. She said Zenitsu's breath slowing the poison saved his life. Otherwise he would have turned into a spider by now, and Shinobu's medical team also saved others not yet turned. Meanwhile, Tanjiro's still locked in a fight with Rui. His sword's broken, so he's dodging attacks while trying to figure out how to take this dude down. Rui then turns his webs into a giant net, aiming to shred Tanjiro to bits. But Nezuko jumps in just in time to shield him, getting seriously hurt in the process. Rui is shook, seeing the sibling bond between them. He can't believe Nezuko, even as a demon, protects her brother like that. So Rui wants to make Nezuko part of his family. He thinks only Nezuko can bring real connection to his twisted fam. His sister and the rest, just a fake family, nothing real. After kicking his sister out, Rui turns to Tanjiro for a chat. He's kinda impressed by Tanjiro's bond with Nezuko, but warns if Tanjiro keeps fighting, both will get wiped out. If Tanjiro lets Nezuko join his crew, he'll spare his life. Tanjiro instantly says nah, no way he's handing his sis over to a demon like Rui. He steps up to face Rui, but Rui says Tanjiro doesn't stand a chance. Turns out, Rui's lower moon 5 of Muzan's 12 Kazuki. While Tanjiro's thinking of a plan, Rui snags Nezuko from the bushes with his webs. Seeing Nezuko trapped, Tanjiro bolts to save her. But Rui hangs Nezuko above him with webs. Rui warns if Tanjiro can't beat him before sunrise, Nezuko will burn to ash. Tanjiro charges with his broken sword but can't even touch Rui cause he's way too strong. Rui even comes up close, letting Tanjiro slash all he wants. His neck's way too tough to cut. After kicking Tanjiro away, Rui tightens the webs, making Nezuko suffer. Tanjiro's heart breaks but stays focused. He channels his breath and unleashes Water Breathing's 10th form, turning his slash into a dragon that cuts Rui's webs. Rui boosts his webs with Blood Demon art, making them tougher, then traps Tanjiro in a red web cage to finish him off. Tanjiro can't cut through the crazy tough webs and flashes back to his childhood memories. His dad was weak but could perform the Hinokami Kagura dance even in heavy snow. When Tanjiro asked how, Dad said mastering the breath of fire was the key. So Tanjiro switches his breathing style, turns his sword into flames, and slices all Rui's webs away. Rui's shocked AF. Despite being injured, Tanjiro rushes Rui, whose only move is to dodge non-stop against the attacks. When Tanjiro spots a weak spot, he aims straight for it. Meanwhile, Nezuko recalls her mom telling her to save Tanjiro cause he's in big trouble. Nezuko uses her Blood Demon art fire to attack Rui's spot, giving Tanjiro the opening to slash Rui's neck. Rui's head flies off with sparks flying, and Nezuko breaks free from the webs. Tanjiro silently thanks his dad. Hinokami Kagura just won him the fight. But he's so exhausted from breathing hard, he can't even stand, feeling surprised. After killing Rui, he doesn't smell the usual demon stench fading away instead. Rui's scent is still strong, meaning he's still alive. Turns out Rui used webs to lift his head off his body before Tanjiro's sword hit, so now he can hold his head and reattach it like nothing happened. He traps Tanjiro in a spider web cage to finish him off, but Ju arrives just in time and smashes all the webs with water breathing. Ju props up Tanjiro, praising his endurance before getting pissed like, "Really? Another annoying demon." Rui tries to attack Ju with blood demon art, but Ju just stands still and uses water breathing's 11th form to instantly cut any web that touches him. Then Ju slices at lightning speed, taking Rui's head off clean. Rui once recruited tons of lost demons to his forest, killing any demon slayers who showed up ASAP. He usually turned demons into copies of himself by feeding them his blood so they all looked the same, like a real family. Guess Rui was super lonely and craved warmth from fake family vibes. But when someone disobeyed, Rui beat them badly. His sister tried to run away with another demon. They got stopped at the foot of the mountain, and Rui's sister betrayed her friend, getting punished by being hung in the sunlight. The sister freaked, scared Rui would punish her next, so she tried to escape but ran into Murata. She trapped Murata in a spider-web sack filled with hot acid-like liquid. Just then, Shinobu showed up, forcing the demon back and easily beating it cause she's a Hashira. Shinobu asks how many people the demon killed. Scared, it lies it only killed a few, but Shinobu's seen all the spider cocoons in the forest. Everyone inside was killed and melted, no survivors, so Shinobu's gonna make this demon pay big time. She also tells it not to stress, demons heal up anyway. Seeing Shinobu smile at its pain, the demon gets mad and attacks with webs, but she dodges with ease. Then Shinobu rushes in, slashing it up with insect-breathing moves. The demon thinks her sword's too small to decapitate it since its head's still on. But the poison on the blade makes it scream in pain and retreat. Turns out Shinobu's the only Hashira who can't cut off demon heads. So she uses poison she makes herself to kill them instead. Shinobu frees Murata from the web sack, joking that only his clothes got melted, but his nightingale is safe. Back to Tanjiro, Rui's head falls off and he flashes back to his past. Born sickly, Rui was weak and could only watch other kids play without joining. Then Muzan showed up, promising a strong body, turning Rui into a demon who had to kill and eat others. His parents were heartbroken and tried to kill him, but Rui ended up killing them instead. Though guilty, Muzan kept hyping him up. Muzan told Rui he could have as many families as he wanted once powerful, but near death, Rui realized Muzan's families were fake. The real family he wanted was the bond between Tanjiro and Nezuko. Rui reaches out to Tanjiro, showing his wish. Tanjiro smells Rui's pain and gently places his hand on his back in sympathy. Before fading, Rui apologizes to his parents. His parents hear him and come to take him away. Ju tells Tanjiro not to pity demons who hurt people. Tanjiro says they were once human and suffer cause of Muzan's cruelty. Ju then remembers he saved Tanjiro and Nezuko before. Suddenly Shinobu lunges to attack Nezuko, but Ju defends them again. Shinobu's shocked Ju's protecting a demon and warns him the Hashira will hate him for it. Ju shrugs, says he doesn't care who hates him, and Tanjiro asks Shinobu to forgive his sister. Shinobu ignores them, swearing to kill Nezuko. Ju tells the siblings to run while he holds Shinobu off. Tanjiro grabs his wooden box and dips, fleeing the forest with Nezuko. But another demon slayer's chasing him, and Shinobu doesn't want to fight a tag team with Ju. She nimbly jumps over Ju and heads straight for Tanjiro, forcing Ju to follow. Kaneo catches up, kicks Tanjiro in the back, and tries to finish Nezuko, but Tanjiro grabs her shirt and tells his sis to run first. Kaneo knocks Tanjiro out cold, chases Nezuko, who shrinks into a kid and dodges all her strikes. Kaneo's shocked Nezuko just runs and never fights back. Meanwhile, Ju catches up to Shinobu and holds her back. She wants to know why he's stopping her from demon hunting. Ju starts telling her the story from 2 years ago, but Shinobu thinks it's a drag and tries to stab him with her hidden heel blade. Right then, messenger crows fly across the forest ordering to bring Tanjiro and Nezuko back to the Demon Slayer Corps' base. So Kaneo stops attacking Nezuko, and Ju and Shinobu call a truce. The rescue team finds Tanjiro passed out, and Inosuke hanging in a tree. Zenitsu wakes up, surprised to be wrapped in bandages, and recognizes Kaneo as one of the survivors from the final selection. She is now leading the rescue to help those turned into spiders. After a while, dawn breaks, and everyone leaves the forest to head back to base. When Tanjiro wakes up, he sees the Hashira gathered and wonders why they're all here. Shinobu tells him they're here to judge him for protecting demons. The Hashira are the 9 strongest swordsmen, each with a nickname tied to their powers. Flame Hashira Rengoku, Love Hashira Mitsuri, Sound Hashira Uzui. Most are pissed that Tanjiro protected Nezuko, a demon, and Ju's being judged to cause he defended Tanjiro. The Corps rules say demons must be killed on sight, but Shinobu wants to hear Tanjiro's side. Seeing him in pain, she gives Tanjiro some painkillers and water. Tanjiro then starts telling them his family story from 2 years ago. Even though Nezuko turned into a demon, she's never attacked humans, but none of the male Hashira believe Tanjiro. So Tanjiro shouts that Nezuko has always fought alongside him against other demons. Right then, Wine Hashira Sanani brings the wooden box with Nezuko inside. Shinobu looks annoyed and tells him to put it down, but Sanani ignores her and stabs the box, hurting Nezuko. Tanjiro is furious and vows not to forgive Sanemi, even though he's a Hashira. Ju tells Tanjiro to stop, but he doesn't listen. Tanjiro dodges Sanemi's strike, jumps high, and headbutts him, knocking him flat in front of the Hashira. He tells Sanemi if he can't tell good demons from bad, he shouldn't be a Hashira. Sanemi's pissed but can't do anything. Just then, the Demon Slayer Corps' leader Kagai arrives at the base. He treats the Corps' members like his own kids. Since he's blind, 2 girls guide him. He still recognizes each Hashira kneeling before him. They call him Lord. Today's the Hashira meeting, so everyone's gathered. Before it starts, Sanani asks the Lord about Tanjiro's case. The Lord says he accepts Tanjiro and Nezuko as Corps members. Many Hashira oppose his decision. They say the Corps never forgives demons. But the Lord reveals he got a letter from Sakonji, a former Hashira and mentor to Ju and Tanjiro. The letter asks the Corps to trust Tanjiro and Nezuko because Nezuko has been fighting to protect humans, not eat them. Sakonji promises to take responsibility and sacrifice himself if Nezuko ever harms humans. Still, the Hashira don't accept it, even coming from the Lord or a former Hashira. Then the Lord drops a bomb. Tanjiro once faced Kibutsuji Muzan himself. All Hashira are shocked. No one's ever seen Muzan. The Lord explains Muzan sent to demons after Tanjiro, likely sensing Nezuko is different from other demons. Sanemi still refuses to listen, insisting demons are pure evil who only harm humans. To prove demons' cruelty, he draws his blood to show Nezuko's true demonic nature. Since it's outside, Sanemi brings the box indoors for everyone to watch. Tanjiro is heartbroken seeing Nezuko stabbed but powerless. Nezuko crawls out with an angry face. Sanemi wants her to attack to justify killing her. Others watch to see what happens. Snake Hashira Obanai restrains Tanjiro, but he escapes, and Ju holds Obanai back so Tanjiro can encourage Nezuko. Nezuko recalls Sakonji's words, all humans are her family, so she must protect them and never harm them. She turns away, disappointing Sanemi and proving to the Hashira she won't attack humans. But the Lord sees many Hashira still don't accept them. Tanjiro promises to end human suffering by killing Muzan. The Lord says Tanjiro hasn't even killed a lower moon demon yet, so demanding to take down Muzan as bold Shinobu and Mitsuri can't help but laugh. The Lord announces Tanjiro's case is closed and warns Sanemi and Obanai not to bully him anymore. Shinobu suggests Tanjiro stay at her butterfly mansion to recover, while the Hashira continue their meeting. After a bit, Tanjiro wants to go back and headbutt Sanemi for what he did to Nezuko. He's still salty. Muichiro, the Mist Hashira, bonks Tanjiro on the head to stop the disruption. The Lord asks Tanjiro to send greetings to Tamayo for him, surprising Tanjiro since they know each other. Minutes later, Tanjiro arrives at Shinobu's butterfly mansion, named for all the butterflies she keeps around. He runs into Kaneo, introduced as Shinobu's talented heir. But when Kaneo sees Tanjiro, she just silently smiles without saying a word. Then a girl named Aoi rushes over, learns Tanjiro arrived, and leads him inside. Zenitsu is also being treated here and is bummed he has to take meds for 3 months. But seeing Tanjiro cheers him up, he cries while telling how he nearly turned into a spider. Zenitsu's body and limbs have shrunk a lot. Nearby, Inosuke is silent. He lost his voice after the demon father crushed his throat last battle. Still, Tanjiro feels grateful they all survived and thanks fate for their safe return. Nezuko was given her own room by Shinobu, and when she crawled out, Tanjiro thanked his sister for saving him in the forest. He also silently thanked his master and Ju for protecting them, and the Lord for accepting them into the Demon Slayer Corps. Nezuko was so tired she immediately fell asleep. Although it was already night, the Hashira meeting was still ongoing. The Hashira agreed that many swordsmen died in the recent battle and felt the new recruit's strength had dropped significantly. But the Sound Hashira was impressed by Tanjiro, since he knocked down Wine Hashira with just a headbutt. Even Flame Hashira Rengoku praised Tanjiro as an outstanding rookie for fighting Upper Moon Demon so soon after joining. The Lord warned everyone not to be complacent, as flesh-eating demons still exist, and their main mission is to kill Muzan at all costs. At the end, the Lord wished his children success on their demon-slaying path. The next morning, Flame Hashira Rengoku left on a mission. When he heard his opponent was an Upper Moon Demon, Shinobu came to wish him safety. Rengoku asked about Tanjiro's condition, and Shinobu assured him Tanjiro would recover well, so he shouldn't worry and focus on his mission. At the Butterfly Mansion, Zenitsu was complaining about having to take bitter medicine every day, envying Tanjiro for it being easier for him. Just then, Murata came to visit Tanjiro with friends. Murata said he nearly melted on the mountain but was saved. Zenitsu also shared how he almost turned into a spider, but Shinobu rescued him in time. Now Zenitsu had to take medicine all day and was scared. Murata envied the cheerful group because he was often scolded by the Hashira for declining skills. Murata said the Hashira were now scarier than the demons outside. As soon as he finished, the insect Hashira appeared behind Murata, carrying him away. Shinobu saw Tanjiro and Inosuke recovering well and planned to send them for rehabilitation training. Only Zenitsu was badly injured and couldn't join yet. He noticed Shinobu's top-notch medical skills and cute face. Those turned into spiders worshipped her like a goddess, so Tanjiro and Inosuke were probably very lucky. But when the two returned, they looked completely drained. Zenitsu asked how they were, but no one answered, making him worried since he had rehab the next day too. Because they'd been bedridden, their bodies were stiff, so children helped loosen their muscles for better flexibility. Next was a reflex exercise where they threw cups of medicine water at each other's faces. Tanjiro was always slow and got soaked by Kaneo many times. Then came tag, but Zenitsu asked for a few minutes to talk with the others. He pulled Tanjiro and Inosuke outside for a serious chat. Before Inosuke understood, Zenitsu punched him right in the face. Zenitsu even focused his breath to jump at Tanjiro next. When asked, Zenitsu yelled that Tanjiro's lucky for touching beautiful girls daily, yet always comes home looking like spoiled noodles. Inosuke didn't get it, so Zenitsu pitied him. Maybe because Inosuke grew up in the mountains and never got close to girls. Then Zenitsu showed them how to enjoy it, clearly thrilled as the girls stretched his body. Next was reflex training. Zenitsu said he could splash water on Aoi's face but promised never to do it. During tag, he hugged Aoi but got punched every time. Inosuke copied clumsily and roughly. They tried competing with Kaneo but lost every time. Zenitsu and Inosuke got embarrassed and stopped training with Kaneo, but Tanjiro came every day, still losing. Tanjiro wondered why he couldn't beat Kaneo even once, then met 3 rehab girls. They asked if he maintained his focused breathing since Kaneo and the Hashira always kept it going. Tanjiro realized this was the secret behind their strength, so he followed the girls' advice and invited his 2 friends to train with him. But Inosuke just lay around, and Zenitsu was always chasing girls. So Tanjiro went outside to practice focused breathing alone but soon collapsed from unbearable lung and ear pain. Still, he kept trying from the start, knowing effort was the key to success. The girls admired his dedication and brought him rice balls and gourds to practice blowing. They said Kaneo could burst a huge gourd with one breath, making Tanjiro feel weak compared to the delicate girl. From then on, he trained harder than ever, and after 2 weeks, felt much stronger. Shinobu noticed his hard work day and night and came to check on him, making Tanjiro blush badly in front of the beautiful woman. Shinobu confided she hoped demons and humans could live in harmony, so she was happy Nezuko was accepted by the course. But Tanjiro sensed anger from her, surprising Shinobu herself. She then revealed she once had a kind older sister like Tanjiro, but sadly, her sister was killed by demons. Before she died, her sister still felt pity for demons, even though they're fake jerks who attack humans for fun. Shinobu followed her sister's wish that humans and demons could live together, and now she's passing that hope on to Tanjiro. She also wants him to be stronger so he can protect his sis Nezuko. After hearing Shinobu, Tanjiro's even more determined. He vows to get stronger and turn Nezuko back human. Next morning, Tanjiro grabs a whip and asks the three girls to smack him whenever he stops his focused breathing, so when he falls asleep, they sneak in. Once Tanjiro starts snoring, they hit him hard. Zenitsu, always nearby, has zero clue what Tanjiro's up to. Days pass, and Tanjiro keeps grinding hard on training. When he feels ready, he challenges Kaneo, with the three girls hyping from the sidelines. After some close calls, Tanjiro finally touches Kaneo. She's surprised. At the end, Tanjiro thanks the girls for their help, while his two brothers just peek and don't join in. The next day, Tanjiro tries blowing Kaneo's big gourd and finally smashes it. Seeing Tanjiro getting stronger makes Zenitsu feel super uneasy. So early that morning, Zenitsu wakes up to take medicine and drags Inosuke to train hard to keep up. Shinobu explains focused breathing is tough to dudes roll around gasping just trying it. Tanjiro tells them they gotta grind to succeed, but these two quitters just shake their heads. To convince them, Shinobu goes to Inosuke and calls him a loser, which totally triggers him. Zenitsu just hears praise from the insect Hashira and immediately heads out to train. The three brothers start training seriously, and watching their grind makes Kaneo flashback to her past. Kaneo grew up super poor, and her parents sold her off, but luckily she met Shinobu and her sis on the way. Feeling sorry, Shinobu bought Kaneo back, literally tossing cash on the ground for the slaver to pick up. Then the two sisters grabbed Kaneo's hand and ran back to their hideout. After a good wash, Shinobu gave Kaneo fresh clothes. But Shinobu felt weird cause Kaneo just listened quietly, never speaking up. Shinobu's sister guessed Kaneo was just shy and not ready to talk or act. So she gave Kaneo a coin and told her to flip it when alone to decide what to do next. Then a messenger told Tanjiro his and Inosuke's swords were ready. The two were hyped like it was Christmas as they went to pick them up. But as soon as the blacksmith saw Tanjiro, he went berserk, demanding blood for breaking his sword. Tanjiro tried to explain his opponent was strong, but no one cared. So the smith chased him around with a knife like a maniac. Inosuke got a special sword too. But Inosuke wasn't happy they weren't sawtooth blades like before, so he smashed them to make his own serrated edge for extra swag. The smith almost lost it and wanted to kill Inosuke, but Tanjiro stopped him, otherwise it'd be roast boar tonight. The three girls were stoked seeing how much Tanjiro improved. Next morning, Tanjiro went back to training with Kaneo and finally caught up to her. In the water splash game, Tanjiro won but gently placed the cup on Kaneo's head instead of splashing her. Seeing Tanjiro level up made his two brothers itchy to train harder, so they all kept grinding. Shinobu said Tanjiro's fully healed and ready to hunt demons again. Suddenly, Tanjiro asked if she knew about the flame dance or fire breathing. The flame Hashira, Rengoku, was already out on a mission, so Tanjiro thanked Shinobu and said he'd go find Rengoku for answers. That night, Tanjiro checked on Nezuko, who was still passed out from when she arrived. He told himself he's healed and ready to head out with Zenitsu and Inosuke to slay demons, and to save Nezuko he must kill the strongest demons for their blood to send to Tamayo. Right then, he heard his sister's voice cheering him on, even though she was still asleep. Though healed, Tanjiro stayed to train with Kaneo and help his two brothers finish their recovery drills. Months ago at Infinity Castle, Muzan summoned all lower moons for a meeting. The place was trippy, like some warped game, and once inside, The lower moons couldn't tell where the ground was. Only one dude in the center played a tune, and after one song, all lower moons gathered in one spot. Muzan showed up in a woman's body and ordered the lower moons to kneel. They freaked out. They guessed something serious was up since they were called here. Muzan told them lower moon 5 day got wiped by the demon slayer corps. Muzan was baffled how weak the lower moons were, even though he kept switching members, saying only upper moons could take down the pillars. So Muzan made a brutal call to wipe out all the lower moons in Team 5, and one by one they got wrecked with no fight back. Lower moon won somehow in Muzan's favor, so he kept him alive and pumped him full of blood. His mission: find Tanjiro and drag him back to Muzan. Meanwhile, a crow messenger reported a bunch of people were captured on the Infinity Train, and the 3 guys were heading there to team up with Flame Hashira Rengoku. Actually, Shinobu suggested to the boss that Tanjiro should take the Infinity Train mission. When asked, she said Tanjiro's a skilled, hard-working swordsman and both he and his dad can use flame breathing. So if Tanjiro goes with Rengoku, he'll level up big time. Just as Tanjiro was about to leave, he ran into Genya from the selection exam, but Scarface didn't even say hi. Tanjiro was shocked how much Genya had grown after months apart. Then Tanjiro said goodbye to Ai before heading out. He promised to bring back the win, and if he got hurt, he'd come back for her care. Next was Kaneo, who flipped her coin to decide if she'd say anything, and it landed heads. So she wished Tanjiro a safe trip. Tanjiro was hyped. It was the first time Kaneo talked to him. She shared that whenever she's unsure, she lets the coin decide her moves. So Tanjiro borrowed the coin to decide for her life too, setting the deal: if it lands heads, from now on she follows her heart. He tossed the coin high and caught it perfectly, then brought it to Kaneo to see the result together. Heads. Tanjiro was stoked, took her hand, and told her she's gotta trust her heart from now on. Kaneo wondered what if it landed tails, and Tanjiro said he'd keep tossing until it's heads. Kaneo felt super happy hearing that. Before leaving, the 3 guys had to smash a huge gourd to prove they finished training, and the girls packed them tons of rice balls to go. Even Water Hashiraju came to see Tanjiro off. Tanjiro thanked him for protecting him and Nezuko, but Cold Ju just told him to crush the mission instead of saying thanks. Finally, they said bye to the girls and headed to the Infinity Train. Since it was his first time seeing a train, Inosuke thought it was a giant demon. Tanjiro said it must be the land's guardian spirit, but Inosuke didn't buy it and headbutted the train to see who's stronger. The cops thought Inosuke was nuts and herded the 3 like ducks while the train took off. They couldn't get on through the main door, so they jumped straight onto the train before it zoomed away. Zenitsu was super worried since Tanjiro brought Nezuko on this mission. He thought Nezuko should stay safe at the Demon Slayer base, but Tanjiro insisted no matter the risk, they'll stick together and fight side by side.